In this video, we're going to discuss the best method of paying off your debt, whether it's the most mathematically correct or the best mental win for you. Stay tuned. Hey guys, it's Cory.
And Erica.
And Zoey's not here, but she just made a noise, so we're going to do our best.
Alright, so you listed out your debts, you learned how to budget, you learned how to track your expenses, you saved for an emergency fund, so finally you can get to the meat and potatoes of paying off your debt, which is paying off your debt, finally. So what's the best way? Do you list them all out, highest interest rate to lowest interest rate? Do you list them all out, smallest debt to largest debt? We're going to tell you what we did, and then you'll ultimately have to make the decision for yourself. Hi, honey. Hey, you had a good little snoozy? We almost did it. We almost got a video while she was napping.
Hey guys, it's Zoey. As Erica said, there's a couple ways that you can list out your debts and how you want to pay them off. Mathematically, I think the best way to pay stuff off is doing your highest interest rate first. It's where you're going to pay those off first, and over the course of your entire debt payoff, you're going to spend the least amount of money. So that's the debt avalanche. If you try to pay off your debt in the order of your highest interest rate first.
And the debt snowball, which is what Dave Ramsey suggests, is when you list every piece of debt out. It's when you list every individual debt out, your credit cards, your student loans, your car payment, whatever it may be, from the lowest balance to the highest balance, and then you pay off the lowest balance. This allows you to take that payment and then throw it at your next debt. This makes you feel like you're getting somewhere and you're not just stuck paying on some loan that's really large or has a high interest rate that's taking a little bit longer to pay off.
Right, and so when you can hear that in just explaining it, that we clearly chose the debt snowball because we wanted to get that satisfaction of paying off one loan at a time, and with paying the lowest balance off first, the lowest amount of money that you owe to a credit card or a loan or a little student loan, that really gets you motivated to want to go towards the next loan and start paying that off. Now, with the avalanche, if you are an optimizer and if you like to pay things out the most, or if you just like to do things the most efficiently, the debt avalanche might be more up your alley. If you know that you have a goal set in mind and you're looking at the long term, whether it's going to be paying off your debt in a year or a few months or 2 years or 3 years, like we did, if you can keep that long-term goal in mind and you really like maximum efficiency, then the debt avalanche is going to be more geared towards you. But I think in the end, the debt snowball, we needed that because we had a large sum of money to pay off. We really didn't make that much money together when we first got married, and we wanted to know that we could do it and commit to it. And I think we're huge advocates of Dave Ramsey's plan or just the debt snowball in general, because getting those little wins feels so good and it feels like you're getting somewhere. Did I just take everything that you were going to say?
Yeah, I was like, hey, when's he going to shut up? So yeah, when we started, we actually did a combination of the both of them. When we first started our debt journey, I've mentioned before in videos, we knew that we needed to be serious about it, so I gave ourselves a year to prove to ourselves that we would actually stick with it and continue to put a larger payment than what the minimum payment was. And if we didn't do that in that first year, we were gonna have to start investing into our retirement. But that first year, we knocked it out. So the first thing that we did, and I've also mentioned this in a previous video, was gonna tell you if you had extra money in your savings or you have more money that's above what you need for an emergency fund right now, we suggest, if you're comfortable with it, throwing that money at those first couple debts and getting them out of the way. So we had about $5,000 in savings at the time, and we kept $1,000 for our emergency fund, and we took that $4,000 and we were able to pay off our first 2 credit cards right away. Like in January of 2015, our first month, we paid off 2 things, and that was, I believe I'll insert it here, I think it was gonna be $200 extra or maybe $150 that we were able to start throwing at that next debt, which made us get it done even more quickly. Now, one of our largest loans with our largest interest rate was $70,000. Like, we went to finish that first year, because the first year we only paid off about $39,000, and I'm not sure that we would be here today doing this, I think we would still be in debt because those mental wins were huge for us right away. Otherwise, we would have just been stuck throwing money at a loan that seemed never ending. Then, after probably the first year and a half, we finally decided to tackle the largest interest rate loan, probably about a year and a half through, because we already knew we weren't stopping, we weren't giving up, we were going to continue going. So at that point, it made sense for us to then start tackling the highest interest rate ones because we knew that we were doing it and there was no turning back.
Yeah, so getting started, I think for most people, we're just average like everybody else. And I think maybe from our perspective, just for most people, the debt snowball to start off with is the choice to go with. If you are already in that optimization and you're a saver by nature, you're probably not in as much debt as we are, maybe. But nonetheless, it was just huge for us, just like she said. So paying off those couple things and then realizing that we were going to stick with this maybe about, I don't know, halfway through our 3-year time period, then we were able to switch and go towards that highest interest rate first because we had already set ourselves up. We already set that base to know that we were going to finish to the end.
So to sum it up, debt snowball, you're paying off the lowest balance first. Debt avalanche, you're paying off the highest interest rate. Debt snowball is going to be the best psychologically. Debt avalanche is going to be the best mathematically. You have to determine if you know that you are motivated, you don't need those little wins to keep you motivated, then I would do the avalanche. But if you want to feel like you are accomplishing something, then I would do the debt snowball.
Yeah, that's in summation the best way to put it.
So be curious in the comments, leave which one you think is better, debt snowball or debt avalanche. This really concludes our debt series. You have everything that you need to at least get started, but we're not done yet. Next week we're going to give you a bonus video of tips and tricks to stay motivated during your debt journey.
That's it for this week's video. If you guys like this video, click the like button. If you want to start from the beginning of this video series, go ahead and click the link up here.
We'll also put all the rest of the series in the description below.
And if you want to continue on, we'll see you next week.
Don't forget to subscribe.
Bye.
Bye.